don't hear my voice, but my voice is just a channel as the Holy Spirit individually speaks to you, about your mind, how it's been fighting, how it's been showing up, how it's been so defensive, how that's how you thought you had to show up. And that doesn't matter what your background was. Doesn't matter if you had a rough background or a good background or a safe background. This message is for all who are looking for a place of rest. And your rest can be now. Fall upon your knees. Act within your heart. Pull over in your car. Stop your walking. Stop the cooking. Turn off the television. Pause. And hear the Spirit of God as He speaks to you and says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden and overburdened, and I will cause you to rest." I will cause you to rest. I am the one that will cause you to rest. Isn't that something? I want to stop right there because that spoke to me as I believe this to be so. Now, God gives us free will. But when I read that part, I had to pause because that spoke to my spirit so deeply. When I gave God my yes and said, "God, I'm tired. My life is going really bad. And help me." Now, of course, on that defining moment, on that day, I said a lot more other things. And you, like I said, you can hear the mini podcast episodes and go back. But my initial cry to God was for help. And God was the one that caused me to rest. No, it wasn't an overnight thing. But God was leading me into His kingdom, how He saw me, how I truly was seen. And in exchange for how I thought I had to show up, how I thought I had to be defensive, how I thought I had to believe, God wanted to change that. And it was a matter of me getting out of my own way. We can get in our way so much because of our own fears. And as I sat in the car, I thought about the different aspects of fear. And one of the main aspects for me of fear, my fear, was being very defensive. So much guard up in my mind because I had been hurt. I had been rejected as a kid. I experienced some, challenging things that caused me to be very, very guarded. And I was a very sensitive person, still am. And so because of those experiences, I immediately put that wall up, and I saw that is in the lives of many of you. I saw, this is why they're showing up that way, because they're afraid. Oh, this is why they're defensive, because they're afraid of rejection. Oh, this is why, because they're afraid of failing. It's total fear. And you're trying to keep up these walls and these barriers in your mind and in your heart. And it's only repeating the same cycle over and over again. And this is how the cycle doesn't shift, because you don't say enough is enough inside of you. And God is saying, "Come to me, all who are laboring heavy laden and overburdened." Some of you are overburdened with things. Some of us are even overburdened with things that we don't even need to be overburdened with, but we are. And then it says, "I will cause you to rest." Not you. You tried other things. It says, "I will cause you to rest." So when I say it doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter where you've been, this message is for all. I will ease and relieve and refresh your soul. I will ease and relieve and refresh your soul. It requires you laying down the sword. It requires you saying enough is enough. It requires you to be aware of the defense and the fight in you. To be aware and to lay it down. And to give it to God. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. And learn of me. Learn how I'm doing it. Learn how I'm showing up. Learn how I'm responding. Learn how I'm resting. For I am gentle, meek, and humble, lowly in heart, and you will find rest. You will find rest. Not just a nap, but you literally will find rest in me. Relief. The Amplified Version says, in depth, when it says you will find rest, you will find relief. Can you imagine what relief, what relief feels like? I thought about the many examples and feeling that I've had in life when I thought of relief. And relief, it says, God has said, give it to me. For so many times I said to God, like, it's okay to give it to you. I didn't think it was okay to give it to God. Because I was like, I don't want to be a burden. Or I don't want to seem that I'm bothering you. All of these different things. I'll carry it. I got it. I don't want to burden you. God is not like that. Jesus isn't like that. That may be a learned behavior from experience, personal experience. That may have been a learned behavior as a child of how to get out of the way of things. That may have been a learned behavior because you felt rejected by your mother, by your father. That may have been a learned behavior because of those experiences or abandonment. That may have been a learned behavior. And you've tried to carry that. You've tried to carry it and fix it on your own. God is just only causing you to choose Him. To choose that way. It says find rest, relief, and ease, and refreshment, and recreation, and blessed quietness for your soul. That's trust, y'all. It's where we find rest within our soul, within our mind, within our heart, because our lives, we've surrendered our lives to God.